Alright, so here we are. We've got our breast form. You can see there's a little bit of crumbs here from removing the tape and whatever. The whole thing is, you don't have to worry about all of this stuff on the outside. All we care about is what's on the inside, because this is the part that's going to be your breast insert into your bra for the time that you need to have something filling up the space there. I don't feel any balls of knots or anything. I do have, because there's plastic in there because we're avoiding putting it on the skin and on the bra, lines in here. Can you zoom in on that? And some cracks, maybe some air pockets. I'm going to show you how to fix that, because you don't really want that in your bra because your breast doesn't have that. And we're trying to get this as real as possible so you can be comfortable. So I'm using a paintbrush. If you're really meticulous and you care, this is a number 12 flat Westwater brush. It's really, you know, any brush would do. I wouldn't go any bigger than this though. So I haven't taken the plastic form off of this because quite frankly it's still curing, and you can feel it because it's warm and it'll remain warm while it's curing, and you don't really need to take it off right now. It's not that important. I'm just sweeping off the extra crumbs off of there. Okay, so they're sweeping off the extra crumbs. I'm going to sweep those right onto the floor. And then what I have here, this is very fancy. This is the bottom half of an in and out cup. Ooh, and I can already tell I have too much. I'm going to pour some of that out. All I'm trying to do here is I'm going to make a little mixture that's probably more like pancake mix. So I'm going to shake a little bit of that stuff in there. I'm going to swirl it around. It's still not thick enough. I'll show you the thickness and consistency. Again, this is kind of eyeballing stuff, trial and error. The worst thing is if you totally screwed this thing up, you just go back and redo it. We're not quite the pancake batter consistency. I always start with the water first when I do this part. And I'm stirring it up. So now we're probably about pancake consistency. Again, it's better to get as many lumps out as you possibly can because you don't want lumps in your breast form. Alright, so if you look at this, this is the bottom of the bra, and you can see here this is the bra line. So you need to keep into mind, okay, if I'm having my breast removed and I want to keep my breast looking normal or visually aesthetically pleasing, that you don't need to plan on going any larger than this area here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to fill in the lines. Even though I might just do this, I probably won't, just because it's not necessary. We're not going to fill in this breast form any bigger than where we're at right now. So I'm going to take my little paintbrush and stir this and see if it's thick enough. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to just start painting. And this is very porous material, so it sucks in there pretty darn quick. And you just want to keep filling up the lines, filling up the lines. And it does fill it up pretty quickly. And mind you, it's because this is still drying and it's very warm, because plaster of Paris gets warm as it dries. You just want to kind of go with the flow and don't worry about, you know, too many details. I can see the line of the bottom of the bra is over here. So I want to get that smoothed out as best as possible. And you keep your brush wet because it will be drying on your brush, and we're not trying to add to thickness of this. This actually helps to decrease the size of the actual final end result because we're adding some material here, and that'll make it more realistic. Again, it's just the saran wrap that does this, but you know, again, trying to keep it off the skin is a good thing. Your model, or if it's you that's having this done, you know, it's not a bad idea if you've got any of this on your skin just to go ahead and take a shower and give it a good soaping and washing it off. It's very drying and can be very porous. And again, I'm not saying it's the most horrible thing in the world. They make cast out of these things for your arms if you break an arm. In this case, we've just broken a boob. Oops, sorry. So I'm just painting in here, getting all these lines out so that when I make my final form, it's smooth like a breast should be, like it was before you got it taken off. And again, here's my line, so I want to kind of go against my line here and fill in all the little cracks. Again, this isn't for everybody. You know, honest to God, I could afford to go buy one of those breast forms. I just hate the fact that they charge so much. They capitalize on someone else's pain and suffering. And I think it's horrible. You know, I'd rather spend my money at Disneyland or doing something fun. Spending a boatload of money on something that is basically so inexpensive just seems ridiculous and unfair to me. And this stuff is easy to clean off of things with your brush. After you're done, you're going to just want to sit in water and rinse it out as best you can. Or you just buy yourself a really cheap paintbrush and that'll work too. Oops, I dropped a little blob down there. I don't want to make any more blobs than necessary. Again, brushing more and more is just making it more smooth. And I can, you know, visually you can see with your own eyes. I'm sure that there's probably some challenges in getting really up close and personal with the video camera because we can only do what we can do on here. I'm just trying to show you that you can fill in and make it smooth because you want it as smooth as possible. On our next video, we're going to show you how to fill in and make your actual breast form, but this was the most important part, which is getting the breast form done. And we're right in direct sunlight, which normally I wouldn't recommend because it dries so quickly. Again, the less wrinkles you have on this, the less wrinkles you're going to have in your mold. The end result of this is you may end up wanting to have some sandpaper if you feel like it didn't smooth out enough, if it was drying too quickly. Again, it depends on your temperatures. Again, I'm trying to get it as filled into the bra form as possible. Visually, once you print it out, you're not really printing it out. Once you put it out, you can kind of see where it is. Less wrinkles. Boobies don't have wrinkles in them, generally speaking. And again, because this is pretty thin, more like pancake batter than waffle batter, you can fill in the holes, but you have to watch when you make those drops. Okay, pause.